Welcome back, everybody, to Discussion America with me, your host, Anthony Fiorinelli. Well, this week was a very interesting week. About 3 or 4 times, I was actually approached by people twice in the street, and a couple of times on Facebook I had issues. And I'll talk first about the 2 times I was approached in the street. Once I was sitting in my van and a woman was walking by my van with her, might have been either a senior in high school, her daughter, or just starting out college. As she's walking by the van, she turned to her daughter and says, "I really hate this van." So, I have to say something. I was polite about it. I said, "But why?" And she was startled to see that I was actually sitting in the van when she said that. And she said, "Well, I hate guns, and I hate Trump." I said, "Okay." I said, "That's fair, but it takes all kinds." And I looked at her and I said, but all you have to do instead of hate is vote. That's all it takes is vote. This country, there's just way too much hate for absolutely no reason. There's this hate mentality that's pretty much baseless, in my opinion. And the thing is, this is what people are doing to themselves. They're working themselves up to this fever pitch of hate that I'm really, really worried what's going to happen in 2020 when Trump does win again. And believe me, he will win again. And I'm not saying that to be arrogant. I'm not saying that because I'm just I'm just throwing it out there. It's that I look at what's out there running against him. And I actually went through this with this woman. I said, "Okay, but who's your candidate? Who is your candidate in the Democratic Party that's going to run against him?" And she started going down the list, and she was having difficulties. She hates him, but she was having difficulties trying to figure out which of the, now it's probably, I think, 17 candidates would actually be a good president instead of Trump. And she didn't come up with an answer, by the way, when she was there. And as she was walking away, I said to herself, "Isn't there just a little bit too much socialism going on with the Democratic Party?" And she turned to me and she said, "Yes, there is." That's what's happening, people. They're struggling themselves with the notion of too many socialist programs that these candidates are throwing at them. Free this, free that, get rid of ICE, get rid of this. Their own party is struggling. She was an admitted moderate, and she's struggling with the candidates that's going to represent her in the general election. So that was one person. And then yesterday, I was just relaxing, enjoying the day in front of my building. I had my cup of coffee, I was listening to blues, I had my cigar, I was just nice and comfortable, enjoying a beautiful day, not bothering anybody, just enjoying a beautiful day. And somebody that I've spoken to in the past passes by my van and sees the Trump 2020 sticker in the back, And he goes, look at this advertisement in the back of the van. Look at this. He gets all nuts. And then he sees me and he goes, Tony, this is yours? This is your van? I said, yeah. He goes, when'd you get this van? I said, I had it for a while. He goes, you're a smart man. What are you doing with this sticker in the back window of your van? I said, because I support Trump. He goes, my God, he lies to you. He lies to everybody. When are you going to wise up? When are you going to realize that he's a louse. He's no good. He's a liar. He's a cheat. He's a thief. He's this. I said, oh, God. I said, not now. I said, stop it. Really, stop it. Stop the insanity. This guy was beside himself. He's had his like 6-year-old son, 7-year-old son with him. I said, calm down, man. What are you doing? What do you relax with this? This isn't going to change. You're not going to change my mind. Read what he's done. He's lied to you. He said he was the king of Israel. That's 71% of the people that vote. He's lying. I said, you need to stop. Relax. Oh, Tony, I can't believe you're such a smart man. I can't believe you. I said, the reason why is because you got nobody to run against him. What are you talking about? I said, I'm not going to live in a socialist country. Plain and simple. The way I see it, you're either going to have Trump or you're going to have a socialist country. Why? Because they want education. I said, that's all socialist agendas. It starts there and it progresses. That's where they start and it doesn't end there. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about? I said, okay, fine. I understand that. I said, listen, instead of putting all your energy into trying to convince me to go against Trump, just vote. 2020, just vote. If he is as bad as you say he is, then you should have absolutely no trouble getting the votes to vote him out. You know, but he kept going. He was unshaven, he was sweating, he was foaming at the mouth. I felt bad for his son because his son had to watch him go through this. And this is not the only time. Then, of course, I was on Facebook the other day. And this woman, I'm not going to mention her name, she was upset. Something happened to her mother. And somebody in passing mentioned to her, oh, you can blame Trump for this. You can blame Trump's tax cuts. Well, this woman got on Facebook and she said, I hate this guy. I hate this Trump. He's an SOB. He's this, that, and the other thing. Because of Trump, my mother passed away. She went on and on and on about how she hated him. Trump is ruining this country. Trump is ruining this country. So, being a Facebook friend of mine, I tried to calm him down. I said, okay, what did Trump do to ruin the country? Was it the tax cuts? Was it the manufacturing that came back to this country? Was it a better dialogue with North Korea? Was it the lowest unemployment rate in recent history? And also the lowest unemployment rate for blacks and Hispanics in recent history? Was it the best economy we had in recent history? You tell me which one of those is ruining the country. I just hate the guy, I hate the guy, I hate the guy. I said, okay, but please, I just want facts. Don't give me your opinion, just give me facts. And as I'm trying to have a conversation with her, then her friends chime in. And again, it's more, I hate him, he's a dog, he's this. There is absolutely no facts. All right? So now, I've been talking about, I'm worried about what these politicians are going to do to this country, what laws they're passing that are going to screw up this country, what the Democrats are doing, passing some of these laws that are going to screw up this country. Well, you know what? I think I'm kind of changing my mind on what the politicians are going to do to screw up this country. I am more worried about what the people are going to do to ruin this country. They've lost it. They've absolutely lost it. I can't imagine what's going to happen in this country when President Trump wins re-election. I can't imagine. I can't imagine what this country is going to look like when he wins again. The Democrats, the liberals, they couldn't handle when he beat Hillary. What are they going to do when he gets reelected? I really fear that. Now, right now, in my opinion, we're in a cold civil war. Is that going to escalate? Are we going to be in a civil war? Are we going to go to blows? Are we going to be fighting in the streets because is somebody going to try to break my window or attack me because I'm a Trump supporter? I'll let you know this one thing though. Even though I'm half a cripple, I'll fight back and someone's going to get hurt. I won't stand for that. Somebody goes to swing on me because I'm a Trump supporter, that person's going down. I don't care how big they are. They will go down. I will sit and debate somebody. I will talk to them. I will talk to them. I will argue with them. But once somebody raises a hand, all bets are off. So if anybody sees me in the street and they want to try to get physical with me, let me tell you something. I know ways to take somebody down even though I can't walk. I'll tell you that right now. I got my problems, yeah, but I'm not afraid to bring somebody down. And I'm not talking with any weapons. I can bring somebody down with just my hands. So please, this better not go to blows. And that's what I'm worried about. I'm really worried about that. I'm worried about people rising in the street and Democrats and liberals going batshit crazy because Trump won re-election. And you know what? Their party's helping them. Their party's helping them go insane. It's not Trump that's causing the divide. Really isn't. It's their party that won't let it go. It's the Democratic Party. It's the idiots in Congress that are going for their impeachment hearings and this, that just won't let it go. They want control of the House, but yet they haven't done a damn thing for the people of this country yet. Why? Did they get control of the House just to try to impeach Trump? Just find somebody to run against him, for Christ's sakes. Look at the field that you have. Out of the field of 17, I think, that are left, your three front runners are all over 70 years old. That's your new generation of candidates for president that everybody's talking about, the progressive Democratic Party. What, are you kidding me? Get over it. Really. And then your young ones, they think that if they keep throwing the free school and the forgiveness of the student loans at these students, they're going to get the vote and they're going to win. I'm going to tell you something. That'll throw us into some more serious debt than we're already in, and we can't pay for that. So you're talking about, okay, raise taxes on the rich. That's not going to work. It's never worked, and it's not going to work now. The rich, hey, they're rich. They can live anywhere they want. They can move their businesses anywhere they want. They can move their business to a third world country, still do business. They can move it to they can move it to Japan. They can move it to South Korea. They can move it to Vietnam. They can move their business anywhere. They can move it to Mexico, for Christ's sakes. They don't have to deal with the heavy taxes that you think you're going to get from them. Really. They got millions of ways to hide their money. Millions of ways to hide their money. You think you're going to find it all? You're not. They'll pay some taxes to shut you up, but they're going to keep most of their money anyway. But you know what? All the jobs will go. Yeah. And then you're not going to have enough money to pay for all of these programs that you want to give away for free. So then guess who's going to get taxed? That's right. Me, and you. Yeah, vote them in. Let's tax the hell out of everybody. Because once the rich aren't going to be able to, you're not going to be able to get enough money from the rich to pay for all your free programs. It's going to fall on the backs of the middle class, what's left of us. Not much left of the middle class anymore. We're all now pretty much lower middle class. And then it's going to be just low class. Think about that. Everything's changing drastically here. And that's due to the government doing that to us. So think about the things I've said today. I'm more worried about what the people are going to do and not what the government's going to do. The government's the government. They've been screwing up for decades. They're always going to screw up. The government's the government. And that's another reason why our Second Amendment ought to be safe. Sooner or later, we're going to need to protect ourselves from the government. Okay? You know, that's neither here nor there. And talking about the Second Amendment, we're going to segue into that. Again, there's something a little strange here, and I'm not really one for conspiracy theories here. Now, I touched on this subject before, and I talked about the social changes. I talked about the how our people changed, how we as a nation changed, and the internet, the violent games, how that affect our young. But you know what I find is strange? Every time we get close to elections or serious matters of government, there's a mass shooting. Especially in a state that they're really talking about trying to change things. There's a mass shooting. Now, what I'd like to know, I don't have the resources that I used to have, so I can't get into it. I can't investigate it. But you know, if anybody's look out there that's got half a brain that can investigate this, that really wants to get to the bottom of stuff, look into the families of these shooters. Are they big families or are they small families? Are there families that after these shootings, somebody was miraculously healed by an operation that they couldn't get before? Or somebody in the family, close family member, didn't lose their house that they were going to lose? Or got the job of their dreams that they really deserved but for some reason couldn't get? Or was lower on the list for an organ transplant, but for some reason got bumped up the list and got the organ that they needed to sustain their life. I'm curious about that because all of a sudden there's all of these mass shootings. People, this country always had guns, and a ton of them. It don't matter if it's an AR-15 or if it's a Winchester. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's an under-over shotgun or an Uzi. It doesn't matter. A gun is a gun. They can both kill. So why weren't there more mass shootings before? The 70s, the 80s, when everybody was whacked out on crack. Really, why wasn't there more shootings? I don't know, it seems a little fishy to me. Maybe these shooters are being sought after. Maybe they're being recruited by a clandestine body, maybe a shadow government, maybe the CIA, to do these shootings, to bring about change, to make you, the people, so upset that these shootings are happening that you're going to force a change in the laws and maybe bring about an attempt to confiscate all the guns in this country, which will never happen because people aren't just going to give up their guns. That's not going to happen. So once we lose our guns, then the government can do whatever the hell they want. But as long as we have our guns, the government can't do whatever the hell they want. There's just too many of us with guns. Plain and simple. You know, yes, we don't have F-18 jets and you know, we don't have nuclear weapons and we don't have tanks and we don't have this, that, and the other thing. But I'll tell you something, as a guerrilla army, if we had to, we got plenty of vets that have experience in warfare. Everybody's armed. Remember, that's what the admiral said when he was asked by his emperor, why didn't you go to the mainland after he bombed Pearl Harbor? His own words, there's a gun behind every blade of grass. That's why he didn't come to the mainland of the United States. He took out Pearl Harbor and went on his merry way. There's a reason for this, people. There's a reason why we were never invaded on our land, other than the Twin Towers. Because they weren't sticking around. They knew they were going to die. They could just do as much damage as they could. But we weren't invaded. No army ever put foot on this land in modern times. Take our guns away, see what happens. Anyway, I think that's about it for this week. I'm really worried about what's going to happen to this country when Trump wins. I think that the Democrats and liberals are not going to be able to handle it mentally. I think they're all going to go nuts. They're all going to go crazy. They're already there. They're already nuts. They're already talking to themselves in the streets. They're approaching me. I got a sticker on the window of my van. I got them approaching me in the streets. That's insane. Instead of like years ago, your candidate didn't win. Okay, next time. I'll vote next time. Get the vote out if you're unhappy. Stop this insanity. My God. This is Anthony Fiorinelli saying, have a great week. God bless you all. This is Discussion America. Goodbye.